it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. We are going to zoom in and focus in on a very important comment that we got in from a viewer, and that is from a narcissistic husband who has estranged her and is essentially now telling her all sorts of information about his new sexual conquest, his encounters, all the women that want him, and why is he bringing this to her attention now that she is the estranged wife or the ex-wife, and basically why is he smearing his life in front of her and essentially smearing her reputation in the process. In other words, you're not good enough. Look at who I really am. Look at all that I can catch. And this is very typical narcissist or psychopathic behavior. More so on the psychopathic, and I don't want people to get caught up really in the labels, because behavior is behavior, and what you have felt, and what you need to deal with, you need to deal with, and the changes that you need to make, you need to make. But I think it's important to understand that the button pushing, the triggering of a narcissist to get you to fly off the handle, to provoke the anger, to provoke the feeling of vulnerability, to provoke the feeling of weakness. You're not good enough. Look how you disappointed me. Look how down you are, and look how great I am. That disparity, and how can they be so cold and callous to do this? It is because, this is just an egotistical way to keep themselves looking flawless, looking as if they have done nothing wrong, looking as if they are just the total armor, insensitive individual, basically the marble statue which has no feelings. They're basically, if you can reframe it and use it really as a way to understand that it's a narc speak, a way of a narcissist trying to get you to understand that they are not available. So it's just, they're presenting themselves to those individuals who they've hurt as the ones who are always right. They are the ones who basically, can do no wrong, and they don't have any responsibility or accountability for any shortcoming that they've made in the relationship. They just don't want to see where their flaws are. They will deny it. They don't see it. They don't want to see it, even though this would be the ticket to them being able to have harmonious relationships. They will have nothing to do with it. They feel they have a grandiosity and a sense of superiority over others. And oftentimes this also goes in tandem with a lack of empathy or the need to subjugate others to this sort of insultory, hurting behavior. See now, and they always like to have the win. They always want to have the win. They want to be the one who has the one up, the leg up. They want to always be the alpha male, the alpha female. And that is their goal in every situation. And a lot of people say, well, how, this is so exhausting. How can this be? Well, it's part of a personality disorder where their ego has become out of sync. And really, you have to protect yourself and really begin to live more from the eyes of a child inside, and then reparent yourself in the same instance. So when you see this, look at it from the eyes of a child, and then couple it together with a reparenting of yourself, which is your own higher self or your own super ego, or the one who really knows how to understand things. And separate yourself from the feelings that they are trying to instill in you or inflict. Just don't allow those feelings to well up, even though it's natural, but realize that they are just trying to use emotional manipulation, button pushing, and triggering you in ways that they're trying to exploit your weakness. But see, no one, in the words of Eleanor Roosevelt, no one can make you feel a specific way without your allowing it. So don't allow them to make you feel this way. Get into a sense of emotional mastery where you have dominion over your sympathetic nervous system, your autonomic nervous system. The autonomic nervous system is the fight or flight, the one that feels fearful, insecure, jealous, rage, and realize that this is when you are feeling these feelings, you are engaging the autonomic nervous system, which is in the fight or flight, which is going to make you react, which is going to take away from your personal power. It's going to stress you out. It's going to put you under pressure. You're not feeling good enough. You have to be somebody else. What did I do wrong? And then you're living in this constant analysis. And in this case, analysis can become paralysis. It can keep you stuck. It can keep you under their emotional control. So really use the tool of cognitive reframing and say, okay, this is this person trying to manipulate me. It's just their attempt. And so realize that they are trying to get a rouse out of you. They're trying to look for a negative supply feed from you. And they're going to use these flying monkeys. They're going to use these other individuals to try to basically give more, the number of people on their side. And so when you see this, just identify it as the manipulation tactic for what it is. And don't allow yourself to be victimized by it. Don't allow yourself to feel these feelings. Realize it has more to do with them in their need to feed their ego than it does really about having any sort of concrete message for you in the relationship. It's really about their ego feed and the need to say, oh, and flash this all in front of you, these other women, and it's designed to hurt you, obviously. And so don't have that vulnerability. Yes, it might hurt, but actually it might be a very positive thing, because if he can move on, then his targeting is going to be going on to someone else. You don't want to continue to be a targeting of these type of statements. So consider the source. Do you really want to be with an individual who needs to inflict this sort of harm on you? Do you really need to be with an individual who's inflicting these sort of wounds on you? Do you really need to constantly be in a state of being vulnerable and victimized by these individuals? Or can you rise up and say, no more, that is it, I'm drawing the boundary, I'm done, I'm so done with this. I'm done with feeling hurt. You can't assign me that position. You can't assign me that disempowering emotion. I won't have anything to do with it now. I have emotional mastery. I have dominion over the cells in my body. I'm picking up my emotional self, and I'll say I'll have nothing to do with it, and I'm now going to live in a state of happiness, which is an inner contentment and an inner peace, which you have to give to yourself. The words of Abraham Lincoln, happiness is a choice. So you need to make the choice. Learn to feel a sense of choice in your emotional expression. Do I have the chance to be happy, or do I have the choice to be sad? And if you're allowing yourself to fall into a slump, allowing yourself to regress, allowing yourself to sulk back and basically, weaken, realize that is a choice that you're making. Learn to engage consciously in your awareness. The heightened awareness, as we say, the higher awareness. Say, aha, okay, this is what's happening. This individual is trying to trigger me. No can do. It's not going to fly here. It's not going to work. You don't need to tell them that. You need to basically use your inner talk, your inner self-talk, to affirm that. And your validation has to come from within. If you have not done this in your life, you have not exercised this, well, now is the time to start. You need to begin with your self-affirmations and more positive self-talk. And oftentimes you need to really include in that the understanding. It's a sort, when you go through this release and letting go and this forgiveness, it's an understanding. It doesn't mean, we're blowing these people off the earth. It basically means you understand now of how they are, how they interact, how they manipulate, and then you're immune to it. You have an understanding, and then that knowledge begins to solidify. And this does take time. It does take it does take time, and it does take focus, and it does take repeated effort, and really getting this knowledge into place and getting it into play and knowing how to deflect it. And deflecting is just meaning that it has no bearing on your emotional attention. It has no distraction to you emotionally. You're not getting caught up in the analysis of why they're doing this or what the impact. You're becoming immune. So it's like, inoculating yourself. Your higher awareness and these tools are now giving you an inoculation. It's giving you a inner strength, which just, their comments will just, bounce off of you. It'll wash down your back because it has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with reality. It has everything to do with their needs and their needs to hurt and inflict harm. And, you know, to get caught up in this is to continue struggling in your life. So don't get caught up in it. Just basically shut it out. Learn to shout out a lot of that negativity and just see it for what it is, and just begin to take it lightly and just kind of laugh and say, wow, you know, earlier this had made a negative impact on me, and this has nothing to do with me or my self-worth or who I am as a person. It's just this person trying to hurt me, trying to victimize me, trying to keep me down because it raises him up. And, you know, sorry, that's not going to fly here. And it has nothing to do with me. It has no bearing on me. I'm healing within. I am so excited to heal within. I enjoy the feeling of being independent. I love my autonomy, and I love having control over my emotions. And furthermore, I'm getting excited and enthusiastic for my freedom and liberating myself from this cycle and ensnarement. And now I'm really beginning to exercise my freedom. And this will come with time. So little by little, keep that as your kind of goal and orientation for your future. And even though it might seem far away, even though it might seem distant, even though it might not seem possible, it will. It will come with time. It will come with effort. And it will come with your education and applying the tools that we discuss here on the channel. Peace and harmony with you here today. I hope these videos do help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.